Welcome, brave souls, to the abyss of horror. I am your dark guide through these shadowy tales, and I must first apologize for my absence. Dark forces beyond comprehension have kept me away, but they have only fueled my return with more sinister stories to share. Tonight we descend into the icy grip of isolation, where the mind unravels and madness reigns supreme. Prepare yourselves, for this tale will take you to the cold, desolate expanse of Antarctica, where an experiment in isolation led to unspeakable horrors. The remote research facility, known simply as Station Thule, stood as a solitary bastion against the harsh and unrelenting environment of Antarctica. Nestled deep within the frozen wilderness, it was a place where time seemed to stand still, enveloped in perpetual darkness during the long polar night. The facility was tasked with studying the effects of extreme isolation on the human psyche, a subject of great scientific interest, yet fraught with potential peril. As the world above bustled with life and light, the team of 12 researchers at Station Thule faced an abyss of their own. The first few weeks passed uneventfully. The team maintained a rigid schedule, conducting experiments, recording observations, and staying connected with the outside world via intermittent satellite communications. The facility itself was equipped with all the necessities: ample food supplies, medical equipment, and even a small recreation area. Yet, as the sun dipped below the horizon, never to rise for months, a palpable tension began to seep into the air. Dr. Hawthorne, ever the observer, noted the subtle changes in behavior among the crew. Conversations grew shorter, laughter less frequent. The once vibrant camaraderie eroded, replaced by an uneasy silence. It was during the third month that the first incident occurred. Eleanor, the facility's biologist, had always been a composed and rational individual. But one night, she awoke screaming, her eyes wide with terror. She spoke of shadowy figures moving just beyond the edge of her vision, whispering her name in a cacophony of voices. The others dismissed it as a nightmare, a product of stress and isolation. But Eleanor was adamant, her fear palpable and infectious. They grew louder, more insistent, and soon others began to hear them too. The whispers spread through the facility like a virus, sowing seeds of paranoia and fear. Crew members started to avoid each other, eyeing their colleagues with suspicion. One by one, the thin veneer of sanity began to crack. Samuel, the chief engineer, barricaded himself in the generator room, convinced that the others were plotting against him. Emily, the medical officer, withdrew into herself, scribbling frantic notes in a journal that she guarded jealously. The once orderly station descended into chaos, as alliances formed and fractured within the span of hours. Dr. Hawthorne watched in horror as the situation spiraled out of control. His own mind was not immune to the encroaching madness. He found himself questioning his decisions, doubting the reality of his observations. Was this truly the result of isolation, or had something more sinister taken root within the station? Desperation drove Hawthorne to search for answers. He pored over old records, communications logs, and every scrap of data the facility had amassed. It was then he discovered a series of cryptic messages buried within the system. Messages that spoke of ancient malevolent forces that dwelled beneath the ice. Tales of expeditions lost to time, consumed by madness and darkness. As Hawthorne delved deeper, he found a hidden room within the station, one not listed on any blueprint. Inside, he uncovered artifacts, carved stones, ancient texts, and a journal belonging to a previous expedition leader, dated decades before. The journal spoke of an entity, an eldritch presence that fed on isolation and fear, twisting the minds of those it ensnared. Realization dawned too late. The entity had already taken hold, its influence spreading through the crew like a malignant shadow. Hawthorne tried to warn the others, but his words fell on deaf ears, drowned out by the whispers that now filled every corner of the facility. One fateful night, the tension reached its breaking point. The facility descended into a maelstrom of violence and madness. Crew members turned on each other, their eyes wild with fear and rage. The air was filled with screams, the metallic tang of blood, and the incessant, mocking whispers of the entity. Hawthorne, clutching the ancient journal, made a desperate bid to escape. He fought his way through the chaos, his mind teetering on the edge of sanity. As he reached the surface, the icy wind biting at his skin, he realized the truth. There was no escape. The entity had claimed them all, and now it whispered to him, promising release if only he would surrender. The final entry in Hawthorne's journal was found months later, when a rescue team arrived to find the facility in ruins. The once proud station Thule was now a graveyard of broken minds and shattered bodies. Hawthorne's journal spoke of the entity's hunger, its endless thirst for fear and madness. The rescue team, shaken and disturbed by what they found, could only speculate on the horrors that had unfolded in those dark, frozen halls. And so, the tale of Station Thule ended, but the whispers did not. They lingered in the minds of those who read Hawthorne's journal, a haunting reminder of the fragility of the human mind when faced with the unknown. The station was sealed, a monument to the dangers of tampering with forces beyond comprehension. As you ponder this chilling story, I ask you, dear viewers, what truly lies in the depths of our minds, waiting to be unleashed by isolation and fear? Could such an entity exist, feeding on our darkest emotions? Like and subscribe if you wish to explore more tales from the abyss of horror. And tell me, What would you do if the whispers came for you?